These are friendly waters for Canadian swimmers. The Olympic pool in Montreal, as this aquatics program charts a new course for the Olympic Games in Beijing.
Canada's best ever Olympic finish in the women's 400-meter freestyle was a bronze medal swim from Shannon Smith in this very pool way back in 1976. Brittany Reimer has done most of the heavy lifting in this distance internationally in recent years, but has yet to make the podium. And Reimer will be swimming out of lane 7. Keep your eyes peeled on lane 6, Tanya Hunks. She should challenge for this one, the women's 400-meter freestyle.
Lane number 2 will be Chanel Sharon Watson, originally out of Gatineau, Quebec, just outside Ottawa, moved to Quebec City at age 16 to up her program, and she will have lane number 2. Stephanie Horner from Beaconsfield, Quebec, just west of Montreal, now training at the National Center in this very pool. This is her home pool. She's 19 years of age, 5'10". Sophie Ballas immigrated from Hungary 4 years ago at age 13, has become an immediate standout swimmer, and she is going to be challenging. That's Savannah King actually right there, 5'10" of her. She'll have lane number 5. Next to her is Tanya Hunks. She's in lane number 6. She's been a hard luck swimmer, tried in 2000, missed, tried in 2004, but now she's up and racing. Lane number 7 will be Brittany Reimer, tall 6-foot woman from just outside Vancouver, the toast of the 2005 Worlds for Canada. Then you've got, that's Barb Jardin right there. She is 16 years of age from Montreal, and Kevin Peterson, who just watched her sister in the final of the breaststroke. 2 Peterson girls, originally out of Salmon RMBC, now training at the University of Calgary.
8 lengths of the pool. This is the final of the women's 400-meter freestyle. The Olympic qualifying time is 4:11.26. The world record is a very rich 4:02.13, held by Laura Manon of France. The Canadian record 4:07.32, held by Brittany Reimer, and she is in lane 7.
This is a very interesting race, Steve, on many different fronts. The big question in everybody's mind in Canadian swimming, 3 from the bottom, is Brittany Reimer. She was the toast of the 2005 World Championships held in Montreal, winning 2 medals, being top of the world, and through several coaching changes and several moves, she has been struggling to find that form. Has she found it now with Tom Johnson at the National Center in Vancouver? This race will tell the tale.
Brittany Reimer, 4th at the World Championships in 2005 in Montreal, 5th at the Worlds in 2003 in this distance, the women's 400-meter freestyle. What will Brittany's strategy be against Tanya?
She's a great fighter, so Brittany's got to be in the race. She can't let these swimmers go. Chanel Watson way up at the top, likes to lead from the front. She'll do that. Whether or not she can hang on, we'll see. But Reimer's got to be with the field. Normally, she has a great kick at the end. Hunks is in the middle, right there with Savannah King. Those are the 2 women with the orange lane line surrounding them.
Chanel Sharon Watson, the 23-year-old from Laval, the leader through the first 100 meters of this women's 400.
Certainly in this race, it's 4 minutes long. This is like watching the mile in running. You can't go out too fast or you pay an awful price in the last 100 meters, the last minute in this race. The question is, did Chanel Watson up in lane number 2 at the top and Horner next to her, are they going out too fast? Will they pay a price? And will these swimmers in the middle be able to catch them?
She did that first 100 in under 1 minute, 59.
That's awful fast, Steve. I don't know if, there she is right there, Chanel Watson. I don't know if she's going to be able to hang on to it. She looked a bit disappointed this morning in barely qualifying. Fastest qualifiers get the middle of the pool. It's not supposed to look like this, Steve. The middle of the pool is supposed to be leading. The outside swimmers are supposed to be behind. Chanel Watson can hang on to it. Look who she's dragging right with her, Stephanie Horner, who's had a disappointing meet to this point. Expected to make it earlier in the meet, but now she's right in the thick of things.
Stephanie Horner was 4th in the 400 IM here at the trials in Montreal. It is Chanel Sharon Watson at the top of your picture in lane 2, followed by Stephanie Horner. And now picking it up is Savannah King in lane 5.
You've got an interesting race. This is the halfway point. This is where the swimmers have to start making a move. Hunks in the middle is coming into your screen. Reimer is laboring. I don't think Reimer's found that form that was so magical 3 years ago. These are the 2 women in the lead, and down 2nd from the bottom, young Barbara Jardin from Montreal, the 16-year-old. There she is, 2nd from the bottom. She's now starting to make a great move.
It is Chanel Sharon Watson and Stephanie Horner off the wall, stroke for stroke. They have the lead at this point in the women's 400 free.
Well, it's very interesting. Horner went to altitude. Altitude training now is something very popular amongst the swimmers, and it's a bit of a gamble if you haven't been a lot. She came down from altitude 3 weeks ago. It's a question of if she timed it properly or not. She'll have this last 100 meters. They have 100 and a little bit to go. Watch for all these swimmers. Here comes the middle of the pack now, Steve.
Savannah King has made a move, but it is still Sharon Watson and Horner off the wall. Less than 100 meters to go now in the women's 400 free. That Olympic qualifying time, 4:11.26.
The swimmers up at the top are on pace to make that. Remember, the winner goes automatically, so there's a lot on the line, but if the second swimmer can get to that standard of 4:11.26, they will qualify. Horner starting to accelerate away. Chanel Watson starting to pay a price. In the middle, those two yellow line lanes. Savannah King, the youngster, 15 years of age, making a big move. She's up to second now.
Stephanie Horner from Beaconsfield, Quebec, leading the field off the wall. Less than 50 meters to go now in the women's 400 free.
Who can pick up the cadence at this point? Horner at the top. Chanel Watson's fading. It's Horner. Then it's King. Here comes Tanya Hunks trying to make it up. I don't think she's got enough room to make it up. It's definitely going to be between Horner and King.
Savannah King has really picked it up. Stephanie Horner still in front. Savannah King mounting the challenge. Does Horner have enough left in the tank? Just a couple of meters to go. Horner at the wall. She wins it. Stephanie Horner with a time of 4:10.16. A solid swim from Stephanie Horner. And the second place finisher in this one, Savannah King, will also qualify for Beijing. What a finish to the women's 400 free.
Here you have a turn that was very important. Chanel Watson on the left, Horner on the right. Neck and neck. As we mentioned, Watson went out like crazy, and she paid a price. She wasn't in the picture as they went for the medals and the spots to Beijing. Right now, this is halfway. Again, they're battling at this point, but Watson looks pretty tough on the outside. Horner looks pretty easy. There's King. Look at that. A body length behind at the halfway mark is King. And then it started to pick up and pick up. 3/4 of the way through the race, Horner has now started to move into the lead. King is starting to make a big push with 50 meters to go. And watch as they come stroking to the end. King has made up fantastic amounts of ground. Just can't quite catch her. But this is one of those few races, Steve, where it doesn't matter if you're first or second. As long as you get there first or second, you get to go to the Olympic Games.
Unofficial results in the women's 400-meter freestyle at the Olympic pool in Montreal. Great race. Stephanie Horner, 4:10.16. Savannah King, 4:10.28. Both really well done. You went out pretty quick. You did some altitude training. I know you had been disappointed earlier in the meet, but now you make the qualification standard. Tell us about your feelings.
I mean, right now all I can do is basically smile. Like, I'm just so happy. Yeah, the altitude training definitely paid off. But I mean, it's just like, as a team, you stick together. You're just always supporting each other. And I think that's how, I don't know, that's how I end up doing well. When I'm happy and when I'm just happy-go-lucky, like, that's when I do the best. So I felt pretty good. And I mean, the field, you had Savannah and you had all of them. Like, everyone was so fast. It always comes down to, like, the end. And I know, like, everyone trains so hard. And so, like,
and you got it done. Savannah, you bettered your personal best by just a little bit there. Tell us how much and how did it happen?
My personal best going in was a 4:15.36, and I don't know how it happened, but I just went in there, used my training, and did it best time.
Yeah, 5.5 seconds better, good enough to earn yourself a ticket to the People's Republic of China. All the best to you both, Stephanie Horner, Savannah King.
Thank you.